Hello, welcome to the Art of the Oracle. Today is Tarot Tuesday and we are starting once again with the Light Seers. I do have some runes with me. I think I was inspired after the conversation with my daughter today talking about Ireland and Scotland, and yeah, so I do have them, and I also have the Animal Spirit Oracle, so we'll see what wants to come in, but we're going to start off with what we most need to know today in the tarot cards. How are you all feeling? I'd love to hear from you, so leave me a message in the comment section. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you here on for our daily messages. Okay, so as you can see here, we're starting off with the card that we ended with yesterday, which is we were looking at the energy that we were moving into, this kind of new youthful way of being present in our day-to-day activities and what we're leaning into, and having the stability to stand but not be too rooted into old ways of being, to allow, like this is tree pose, one foot is on the ground for stability and the other foot is in the air, right? And it's exploring a new way of feeling and being, and all the while holding in play the thing that we desire, right? The pentacles are around the earthly things, the tangible things, our day-to-day earthly. Pentacles represent earth things, like, you know, our families here and our jobs and our money and our homes and things like that, that we can we recognize very easily. And interesting, we have the King of Pentacles upside down. Now, love to see the King of Pentacles, really beautiful image. And he's come in upside down. So I'm going to ask if it is meant to be upside down, and it is. So the King of Pentacles is, if you're thinking about money, like what is it that you want? You want the King of Pentacles. When you're asking questions about money and what to expect, we have the King of Pentacles coming in, and you're like, yay, it feels like a very abundant year. The masculine energy around this suit is being able to go forward and do the things that you want to do and be very proactive, be assertive, be able to be in the space. So what I'm seeing, I love this card because he has his faithful dog here and he's covered in green, which tells me there's some heart energy. And then the red is that earthing, really grounding into what this heart space environment is. But because it's upside down like this, I'm feeling like maybe the masculine doing side of it is not necessary or not so needed. It's as if that some of the old ways, as I was saying here, it's like leaning into it from a new perspective, having one foot grounded and one foot up, and not being afraid to explore the air around the earth. And that's exactly what this is feeling like. This is feeling like the air is below him. He's exploring the energy in a new way. And it doesn't mean that you've lost stability, but maybe you're not quite. So it's like having all the resources, everything available, this fiery energy, this knowing of your potential and the value that you have. This masculine energy is about being able to have been there and done so many different things that you feel very confident about where you're going and what you're doing. So we have the new energy to lean into what you know, but kind of see it in a different way. Take the things that you know about how to create the money, or how to be in a community, or what your family needs, or where you're going to go, and then give it a little bit of a new perspective. That's what I'm feeling from this card, that all of the elements that a King of Pentacles represents, having the freedom of being able to relax in an environment where you have earned the right to just feel good about where you are. But having all that, but upside down, I'm feeling like the energy is saying there's something new around it. There's some sort of life that has not, that we have not seen yet, that is coming in. And I feel like one of these cards here, wow, we ended up getting me asking if we need all of this. So I feel like it's these, let's see what we have here. Oh my gosh, we have a lot. So interestingly is that there were several cards that came out in this. One, sing your own song with the canary spirit. So that kind of feels like the energy around what I was saying is that be aware of the influences and everything that you've learned. You don't have to throw everything away, but it's asking you to sing your own song, to put a new spin on it, to create the things in a way that you want to create, that you're still laying the foundation with this beaver spirit. Beaver is a very creative soul. He always builds what he needs, but he leaves, you know, opportunities for, you know, a front door and a back door, allowing himself to move around freely within the space, the foundation that he's creating. And then we have 17 with crow spirit. I've been seeing so many crows around lately. It's funny because they seem like they kind of left for a while and I didn't realize they were gone until they came back. And so every day I'm recognizing this crow spirit, which feels like the almost like a law of attraction. It's like this energy of this magic, and this crow is around literally law, like where you're putting yourself, the environment that you're creating actually feeds you in return. So what you're putting in, you're getting out, and being able to see things in different perspective ways. And then it says embrace the in-between, which kind of feels like where we're going. So as you see right here, when you have a little bit of air around things, there is something between this and that when air is. So if you have an idea and it hasn't yet created, there is some sort of magical space where you can still manipulate and decide what it is that you want to do. Or if you know, have a, you know, like me, for instance, and I do biofield tuning and I love biofield tuning, and maybe there's an opportunity for me to work with people in a different environment, that kind of thing. So that's kind of the in-between. And it's okay not to have everything figured out in 2026 day one, right? It's okay to feel that things are still uncertain. And sometimes uncertainty feels a little weird. And one of the other cards that came out here is this panther spirit, and then a whale spirit, trust the great mystery. And so we have 44 and 11, and these two feel like these really beautiful, you know, it feels like panther spirit with redeeming your power is kind of saying that, you know, we've got your back. Don't worry. You're protected. You're guided. You're moving into a space that you will be held. So don't worry if things didn't work out in the past. It's really asking for a little bit of air going around. I feel like there is another tarot card here that would like to come out. I'm also feeling runes a little bit. Let's see, is this the one? It is. Oh, look at that. So it's star in reverse, and I'm asking if it's still in reverse, and then the 10 of swords in reverse. So it's funny because both of these, you see what's happening here is that it's like everything, this is literally what I'm seeing is like the earth turning upside down, you know, and I've heard a little bit about the poles shifting and all that, but that's what it feels like. It feels like the idea of what we think, like we ascribe this meaning to that, that things are shifting, and it's asking for some air around it. Now that we're in this 10-year and everything, I mean, look how the kind of spiraling of what's going on here is happening. The star card is about that connection to your wish, to your dream, to your desire. And it also feels like the things that have been up here in our head are more grounded. These birds don't really look upside down. They look right side up for some reason, right? They feel like they're really flowing, and that the air is the most important thing. And maybe because we're moving in and we've been moving into this Aquarian sign where air is more prevalent, it's asking for the space to open up around us and us not to be so rigid in our belief system, to let some peace come into the space, or possibility, because when energy is so tightly together, there's not much room for different things to happen. And so when we open up slightly, there's a little bit more space, a little bit more opportunity for new things. And that's what I'm getting for all this upside down energy. And lastly, I'm going to go ahead and choose a rune. Is there a final message here with the rune today? I have 2 of them. Let's see what they say. These are the 2 that we have. And I'll have to go to the guidebook because I'm unfamiliar. Now, this one came in upside down as well, like all of this. And so I think that that is kind of what's going on here. It's almost like we have a theme of things being a little bit different than we think. And this is the very first rune that's in this book around prosperity and new beginnings. And then we have J or Jera, which is around joy, celebrations, endings, and beginnings. So I see a bit of a theme going on here, right? With this Fehu that's saying that there's prosperity, new beginnings. And this is around beginnings and endings and bringing joy in. The thing that I'm hearing is that there's a real need for us to look at what that means and how it's coming in, you know, differently, how we can look at, so when this is in reverse, it's talking about the change in material wealth and the change in the way that we look at prosperity. It could mean loss, but leaning into that energy, whether it is that I don't want to feel loss or something, but it feels like something may come into the space as loss, because you can also look at the King of Pentacles as it being upside down, being like the loss of fortune. But I'm feeling something a little bit different. Like things are going to shift, things are going to change. And how do we, you know, how do we want that to, how do I want to put this? How do we want that to affect us? How are we going to lean in? Because really what this is all bringing in here is it's asking us to look at everything in a new way, not in a way of victimization or anything like this. And this always says, because this one here has no inverted meaning. No matter how you look at it, it's bringing in good news or good rewards or joy or something like that. So even though this feels like reversal, like a changing of, I think what I heard is the changing of the guards, this is showing that whatever it is, it's happening for the good of, for the better of. And I feel like all of this that we're seeing is asking us to just start afresh, because we've been born into an environment that we just did what we were told and we followed all the rules and blah, 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 blah. And I feel like that's all changing. So thank you so much for being here at the Art of the Oracle. If you have any questions or you'd love to see a reading around a particular topic, just put it in the comment section and we'll see what we can do about that. Until tomorrow, have a magical day. Bye now.